Welcome to a brand new series on this channel called Doctor Who, The Lost Companions. This first episode is about Josie Day. Hope you enjoy. Josie Day, and a companion of the 8th Doctor. But not a normal companion, you see. Let me tell you her story. Josie Day is a companion of the 8th Doctor. Josie was a painting of Lady Josephine, a portrait, you could say. Josie was so rich with the anime particles, not anime as you would think of the Japanese cartoon, which is spelled A-N-I-M-I-E, or whatever way you want to spell it that way, but it's A-N-I-M-A-E, so it is a different kind of word basically, but she's covered in these particles. Her history is, as said, when Lady Josephine died, the portrait of Josephine was sold at auction and brought by the 12th Doctor and Clara. Now, the Doctor knew who Josephine was at this point in time, and his 8th incarnation, played by Paul McGann, was living in Wales and had a house in Wales. And him knowing his previous self would meet her there, he took her to that house in Wales, where she took residence and worked on her art there. One day the 8th Doctor showed up, looking for a copy of Jane, R-E, I think that's what it is. It is E-Y-R-E. So if you know how to say it, then just think that I might butcher it quite a few times. So this picture of Jane here left behind at the house. And while the Doctor was trying to explain that it was his house and he lived there, a woman named Mrs. Fellows interrupted him and Josie, telling them that the village was being attacked by Josie's paintings that had come to life. And so the 8th Doctor scans Josie with the sonic screwdriver, figuring out that Josie is coated in anime particles, and the only way they have of defeating these paintings is if Jodie draws the ending. Now at this point the 8th Doctor is captured, so Josie writes the ending of the Doctor defeating the villains. So that was their meeting. Time for some of their other adventures. Now I'm not going to go through all of the adventures that they had. I will go through 2 of the main ones, and then we will get on to how it ended, because she was a part of 3 Titan books of the 8th Doctor adventures, so she wasn't in there for long. But if I as you know, I do my own series on this channel. If you haven't watched it before, just look back at the older videos on the channel. We have 3 episodes of our own Doctor Who show, basically. But if I was running Doctor Who itself, this is a companion that I'd like to see in the new era, basically. But onto her adventures with the 8th Doctor anyway. So the first adventure is the Aluminum World. Now Josie is hit by a crystal, which has fallen from the sky. The crystal came from a surferon, and the crystal started to grow over her body. Now the surferons had no idea that their offspring was grown off of living beings, so the crystals were the surferons' offspring. So the 8th Doctor contacted or kind of communicated with the surferon, telling them that this had happened, and they used their harmonics to shatter the crystal, basically saving her. Their next adventure, they travelled to a Bearwood house in 1932, where they saved a young boy from the Nixie. Now there's not a lot of information on the Nixie. I'm guessing there's a picture of it somewhere out of there, but I'm guessing just like most of the Doctor Who films that it was a bad kind of alien species. Her end. Josie countered Lady Josephine in another story, and that's when Josie and the Doctor figure out that she is a portrait of Lady Josephine. Now there's not a lot of information past this, so all we know is at the end of the Aluminum World, the Doctor gave her own art room in the TARDIS, which I think is a really nice touch to the story. So that's how our story ends in the comics. That she finds out that she's a portrait. Now, in my own head canon, because I've been looking at quite a few of these lost companions, as I've called this new series, my own head canon for her is actually had a few more adventures with the Doctor, well, the 8th Doctor, to be frank. So there had a few more adventures, but then she went back into the portrait, where she stays in her art room, still in the TARDIS, hung up, and sometimes she comes out of the painting just to have a adventure with the Doctor once in a while, being that the 9th, 11th, 13th Doctor. Maybe even future Doctors, because she's still a part of the TARDIS and still there in the TARDIS, so she could come back anytime. She could even come into the new series, which makes people want to go and read these Titan comics with her in it. So that is the story of Josie Day, the portrait companion. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you on the next one. Goodbye.